It's not what you did, son, that angers me so. It's who you did it to.
Yo guys, welcome back, okay? So as I promised that I would do a trade breakdown of the trade we took yesterday on Thursday on the S&P 500, okay, on the ES. So let's just jump straight into it and waste no further time, okay? So what actually happened first is that this over here was Monday, okay? This gray part over here. This whole gray part over here is the first week, okay. This is currently the first week of the month of May, okay. Right over here is the first week of May. First week of May, we have Monday, we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, then Friday, okay. So right over here we had intermarket sequential SMT between Q3, which is Wednesday, and Q4, which was Thursday, okay. We had intermarket sequential SMT, but right over here, as you can see, we had no sequential SMT between what? Between the index market, okay. We had no sequential SMT between the index market. As you can see, all three of them took out the previous high over here, okay. But on the Euro USD, as you can see right over here, is that we failed to take out Wednesday's highs over here, okay. We failed to take Wednesday's high over here. Thursday failing to take Wednesday's high over here. Okay. So this is clean right over here. Okay. And why did the market fall down? It was intermarket sequential SMT. That's what made the market fall down like that. Okay. So once we had this in play, we knew that the market needed to go down. So we needed a lower time frame sequential SMT. So we had a weekly sequential SMT. Now we need a lower time frame sequential SMT. So that's when I drop down to my 15-minute time frame, of which I am going down to my daily cycle, right? Let me just add my daily cycles right over here. Just add my daily cycles right over here, okay? Okay, right, like that. So since we know that we already have this intermarket sequential SMT, we can go ahead and remove this over here so that we can focus on what? On this current day right over here, okay. So what we had was this over here. We had sequential SMT between Q2 and Q3, okay. We had sequential SMT between Q2 and Q3, right? So right here, we had no body closure above over here, okay. We had no body closure above there. But now, can you see the differences over here? I've said this: when you need a body closure and when you don't need a body closure. In this case, you needed a body closure above, and that's why we closed above, because we had a weekly sequential SMT and then we had a daily sequential SMT. So you need a body closure above the previous body closures here, okay? So that's why this market closed above. Failing to do so over here created sequential SMT, okay? So now let's go on back to US 30, okay? So going back to US 30, over here, let us just double check if we had a body closure above this high over here. So can you see that we had a body closure above over here? So this over here was sequential SMT right over there, failing to close above this body closure above over here on the US 30 over here. We failed to close above over there. So that right over there was sequential SMT right over there, okay? So we had sequential SMT. Knowing that, you could have known that the market was about to go down, okay? Once you have sequential SMT on your weekly time frame, now you have sequential SMT on your daily time, on your daily cycle. It's just confirming that the market needs to go down. And can you see once it swept over here, the market just went down aggressively over here. Okay. So what we actually did yesterday was this, is that we dropped down to a lower time frame again. Was what we aim for is that we are precision traders. Okay, we aim for precision. Okay, so we went down to our 90-minute cycle. Okay, let me just remove this micro cycle. That will be like this, right? So over here, we had a lower time frame sequential SMT again. Here on the Dow Jones, failing to take out this high over here. Let me just zoom this a little bit. This was Q3 over here, right? This was Q4 of the 90-minute cycle, okay? Right over here. So Q3 was taken out by Q4 on the S&P 500 right over here. As you can see right over here, we took out that high over there, okay? Failing to do so on the US 30 over there, okay? So can you see what is actually happening over here? Firstly, we had our weekly intermarket sequential SMT. Then we had a daily sequential SMT. Then we had a 90-minute sequential SMT. So can you see how those things are aligning into our direction? Then right over here, that's when we had a model 1 over here, which is our order block right over there. Right over here, okay? Those are model 1 right over there. So you could have taken your entries right over there, breaking below this order block over here, entered your trade right over there on that line, put your stops above, and then you could have aimed for a 1:4, like a 1:4 RR right over here. And that's where I exit my trades yesterday, okay? Target a 1:4 RR right there, but I entered my trades on this inverse fair value gap right over here. I just waited for another confirmation because I was late, okay? So that's when I entered my trade right here and exit my trades at this low, okay? You could have hold your trades longer, targeting a bigger risk to reward ratio, but I took my positions out at that current point. Then yes, guys, that is actually what happened yesterday. And let me just see if I can. Yeah, we entered our trades right over here on the S&P 500. As you can see right over here, it's S&P 500 on the 15-minute time frame. We entered our trade here, exit our trade on our 1:4 RR, okay? And then we were done for the day yesterday. That was a trade we took yesterday on the S&P 500 right over there. So I don't know if you have any questions, you pop them up in the comment section and we'll discuss it later, okay? So that was basically it. nothing more, nothing less. That's what we do almost every day. So this week I think we took about two to three trades this week, okay, and we won all trades, okay. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll be seeing you next week. Yes, today is NFP. I don't know if we should trade today. You can trade today, okay? Currently now the market is moving here, and I don't know if I should trade today. I'll be seeing, okay? Depending on my schedule. So that is it for today. It was a short, quick analysis of what we did, okay? So yeah, see you next week, guys. Take care.